When I try to think about who are our health heroes in this great community that we have, some of the best healthcare systems anywhere, when you think about somebody that's really a standout, Dr. Marie Etienne is the one that springs to my mind. Primarily, she is a leader and she is a trailblazer. I mean, she was the first Black, the first minority president of the National Nurses Association. She created something called the Global Initiative. And the Global Initiative particularly focuses on the victims of human trafficking, domestic violence, and gun violence. She's focused on those vulnerable populations. She's acclaimed in all kinds of areas for her excellence. She's an excellent nurse, but she's also a teacher. She takes it to the next generations. I don't think there's a letter missing in the alphabet after her name, because those are all achievements. And I say that with a smile, and she'll get it. And she's always going to be shining, and she's always going to be one of our healthcare heroes.
Jessica is an emergency department nurse at my facility who took personal loss and transformed it into meaningful life-saving work. Her efforts began when she experienced the tragic death of her father, Horacio Leon Jr., in Chicago. She took this loss and found purpose. She advocated through the Chicago communities to eventually get installed 105 water rescue stations along the Chicago lakefront. She ultimately wanted to bring it to Miami-Dade, where she grew up, and eventually was able to have legislation passed which provided water rescue stations along county-owned waterways. She's now working with Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, trying to get legislation to provide more equipment for them on every single one of their fire trucks. She is also actively involved in churches and in schools, providing education, specifically as well to vulnerable populations. As a nurse, specifically an emergency department nurse, right, she's seen a lot. She knows that there's a lot of water tragedies that can be prevented. I think she will continue this until her last days.
Elizabeth Smith is our Chief Nursing Officer for the entire health system, right? All the hospitals, all the clinics. You get one shot in a lifetime if you're lucky to work with a CNO that's as innovative and charismatic and has the ability to build trust with her team the way she does. She initiated a device that uses long-wave infrared thermography to help us discover wounds before the wound even happens on a patient, because she created a mission discharge and transfer team so that the bedside nurse could focus on taking care of the patient and a whole different team could do the admission and the discharge. She's done just incredible things with elevating her team. I think over 84% of her nurses now have a bachelor's degree or higher. She just recently received a Magnet with Distinction Award. There was a 4,000-page document that she wrote to submit for it. The first time out of the gate, she got it with distinction for an entire medical system. And for her to achieve that, there's no one in Miami that should earn this award more than her.